What's going on, guys? Andrew Piluk Hockey here, back again with another video. Today I'm going to be talking about, you guessed it, you read by the title of the video, more trade rumors, more early Toronto Maple Leafs trade talk as we inch closer every single day to the NHL trade deadline. Now, one thing I will ask you guys before you watch the rest of this video, could you please like this video and subscribe? It's completely free. Because I am really trying to put in a big effort here to give you guys content consistently, and it's going to be a lot of rumor and trade talk coming up because that's what I do best. I love it, and hopefully you guys will stick around to this channel. Lots of videos are coming. I've been posting pretty consistently lately, so I want to keep doing that because I love it and I love trade talk. So liking and subscribing helps a lot, but let's waste no more time, because what I wanted to do in this video, and I've done this in years past, is as we get closer, we try to narrow down some targets for the Toronto Maple Leafs to try to acquire, because I've said it before and I'll say it again. This year, I truly believe the Toronto Maple Leafs can't wait around. They can't have another embarrassing first round exit, so they have to figure out where their needs are as a team, figure out how to acquire that cap space, and we will get to that, and how they can add, where they're going to add, the blue line, the forward group, goaltending, I don't know. But one thing I want to bring up before we get too far into the names here. Earl Schwartz is a great follow on Twitter, or somebody that I just, consistently see their tweets. Because not even following Earl, the tweets always pop up on my timeline. So definitely a good person to follow, or, I'm sure if you're a Leaf fan, you see the tweets all the time. But this is a great tweet. So, okay, here's the numbers. With a 20-man roster and Richie in the minors starting tomorrow. Now, mind you, this tweet was on January 6th, so 4 days ago. With a 20-man roster and Richie in the minors starting tomorrow, the Leafs will accrue $2,000 per day, best case $1 million by the deadline. I doubt he's getting claimed, which he didn't, but if the Leafs can pay a small price to move him, they should. That would give them up to $4.25 million at the deadline. Now, what a lot of people don't understand about cap space and the NHL trade deadline is that, in the simplest way, and I try to explain it, and maybe I'll go into more detail in the next video, but you can accrue cap space as you get closer to the deadline, and then of course you can use that money to spend on, either upgrading or taking on money to get picks or anything like that. But you can accrue this cap space, and of course at the deadline you can get double retention. You can get 50% retained and then involve a third team, get them to retain 50%. It's happened before. The Leafs did it last year, but Earl makes a good point here, showing this would be how the Leafs could accrue the cap space if he just goes down to the minors. But if they're able to move him, they're going to be able to get a ton of cap space. Now, with the injuries and COVID protocol and all this other stuff, the Toronto Maple Leafs are a little bit, up and down, and the cap space might not accrue as much as we'd like to see it. But worse trades and better trades, I'll explain in a second, have happened. And what I mean by that is teams will take on bad contracts for picks. We've seen the Leafs do it with Patrick Marleau. They got rid of a $6 million contract for an older player in order to re-sign Kasperi Kapanen and Andreas Johnsson, but they had to give up a first-round pick. We've seen it with a bunch of other teams. The Leafs don't just do it. Every team in the league has taken advantage of this. Recently, we've seen teams do it. We've seen it with the Arizona Coyotes, wherever, but they're really, really bad contracts. A contract like Nick Ritchie's is not nearly as bad as some of the deals that have been done. Okay, so if the Leafs can do that, they'll save cap space. Right now, they're only it's over $1 million, like half of his deal. Let's just say like half of his deal, even though that's not accurate, but I don't want to confuse too many people here. The Leafs are not fully paying for his contract because they're burying some of it in the minors. But another way for them to clear up cap space is to trade a guy like Engvall. And again, they could probably find a dance partner for him. If they involve Engvall and Justin Hall in a bigger trade, there's definitely ways for the Leafs to get creative. They can have teams, like I said, retain money, and they can involve draft picks, whatever it is. But I wanted to bring up some names that have been around Twitter and some Leafs blog accounts, and even some insiders have been talking about, and maybe even some guys that I've just kind of been kicking around on to see if possibly this could be some ideas. Again, I'm not saying this is going to happen. I'm not saying it's a guaranteed rumor. I'm not bringing this to the table. I'm not breaking any news. I'm giving you guys an opinion, and I want to know yours. So please leave comments down below of any of these guys or any other players you think the Leafs could benefit from. So Tommash Hurdle, okay? You're seeing this cap hit 5.625. Now, I agree, that's kind of high. But if you're able to get double retention from other teams, which again, when you're asking for that, you're going to pay a price. Now, if the Leafs are all in, they shouldn't be worried about this. They should be worried about the fact that they need to win. So maybe sacrificing some of your future is the way to go. You don't want to too much, but a guy like Kyle Dubas doesn't have time to wait around because he could lose his job if the Leafs lose in the first round. Again, they have to make the playoffs first, which they're looking good right now. But I'm just saying, if they lose in the first round, people are losing their jobs. People are getting traded. So maybe Hurdle is a guy that can contribute to this team. Now, like I said, he's got 5.625, 1 year left, a modified no trade clause. The Sharks aren't doing all that hot. He's got 31 points in 36 games played so far, 43 and 50 the previous year, and he's already a 20-goal scorer this year. The guy would definitely add to the Toronto Maple Leafs top 6. Now, if we're looking at the points so far this season, he is second on the team. Timo Meier's having a really great season, but 31 points in 36 games played, like I said. If we take a look at last season, I believe Hurdle was also in second place, only to Mr. Kane there. So 43 points in 50 games played there, second on the team. And if obviously we're looking at this year again, his 31 points would bring him close to the top of the Toronto Maple Leafs depth chart here. He would be just behind Johnny T in points, and it's definitely looking like this team has some upfront heavy point guys this year again, which is really good. We're getting lots of depth from Kerfoot. Marner's been on the protocol here for a little bit and dealing with some stuff. So we're getting Bunting. We've got Kasha, Spezza's chipping in. So adding more forward depth here with bringing in a guy like Evander Kane who can give you goals, who can give you speed, who can give you hands. He gives you a little bit of everything. I would be very intrigued to see if that was an option for them. Now, if we're going to the blue line, Robert Hagg is a very interesting name here. Now, I will say I would, if I'm Buffalo, I definitely would be looking to re-sign this guy. But if they want to acquire more picks, if they want to try to acquire more futures, a guy at a $1.6 million cap hit who provides some size and a lot of physicality could be something that the Leafs are interested in, especially if they want to upgrade on the blue line. So if they want more depth, because again, going into the playoffs, you need as much depth as possible on the blue line. And if they can make this work, that's a very cheap contract for a guy that can contribute in a physical way. So 5 points in 25 games played, not too worried about that. I'm not really looking at points. The age is really good here, 26 years old, somebody that can fit into a younger group. Now, if we're looking at stats, like I said, I'm not really worried about the offensive numbers. I'm looking at hits, I'm looking at block shots. Lots of hits on in the 2020 season, lots of hits so far in 2021. Just look at the career numbers here. Lots of blocks, lots of hits. Now, if we're looking at the Toronto Maple Leafs in their previous season, that would put him towards the top of the Toronto Maple Leafs in terms of hits. I believe in terms of hits per game, he's at a higher clip than a guy like Muzzin and Hall. So that would be definitely something that the Leafs could be interested in, maybe on the penalty kill, stuff like that. A bruiser on the back end, good depth, a guy that can play instead of Dermott, maybe instead of Hall, maybe instead of Liljegren or Sandin. All the depth you can get, I would be very interested in to see if Hagg's a guy that's available. But again, if I'm Buffalo, I would hold on to him. It doesn't make a lot of sense if they're trying to build. This is a decent guy that I feel like can contribute to them because they're going to need some physicality. They're going to need players that actually do something good. You know what I mean? I'm sorry, Buffalo fans, but let's be real. I think Hagg is a guy that you could really use as a guy to help build your blue line, have a bit of physicality. But if I'm the Leafs, I'd definitely be checking in. Now, this next name is a name that a lot of Leaf fans have been drooling over, and I think a lot of teams in the league would be drooling over, and that's Jacob Chickerin, of course. $4.6 million. A lot of people are talking about the fact that he plays lefty. I don't think that really matters. To be honest with you, the Toronto Maple Leafs have shown that they're not afraid to really acquire anybody who's got the left-handed shot. They're full of them on their blue line, and I don't think a lot of people are complaining too much about the guys who shoot left-handed on this team. Guys like Riley, Brody, Muzzin, Sandin, Dermott, we're fine. The Leafs, if they want to acquire another left defenseman, especially if it's Jacob Chickerin, I don't think that they'd be too choked over that. So $4.6 million cap hit. Now, here's the problem. And it's not a problem in terms of the player and the contract. It's in the fact that the acquiring cost is going to be super high. A guy like Hurdle, a guy like Chickerin, the acquiring cost will be super high. $4.6 million all the way up to the 2024-25 season. And if you look at the numbers this year, not the hottest start for him, but the Arizona Coyotes are not a good team. He's a minus player. He's not putting up as many points because this team is not good. I'm sorry. That's just how it is. Sorry, Arizona Coyotes fans, but the team is not good. 7 points in 26 games played, but look at the previous years. 41 and 56, almost a 20-goal season. In a full 82, that's probably easily 25 goals. 26 and 63, just consistently putting up decent numbers. If you look at the 2020-2021 season in terms of points, he was 10th in the entire league. So that puts him ahead of guys like Hughes, Nurse, Klingberg, Mackenzie Weegar, Morgan Riley, Drew Doughty, Yossi, Alec Martinez, Torrey Krug, who's been known to put up points. Just a really good list right there with a guy like Shea Theodore, Dougie Hamilton, Jeff Petrie, Cale Makar. So definitely very, very, very intriguing, but the acquiring cost would definitely be a first-round pick and then probably a very high pick, like a second or a third, with a top prospect plus probably another B to A minus level prospect, maybe a roster player that's not as good but has a little bit of a contract. It would be a massive acquiring cost. This is a bona fide top 4 defenseman, potential to be a top 2. He's only 22 years old. You could already argue he's a top 2 because of his offense. The acquiring cost would be massive. But if you're looking at this from an all-in perspective, and if he's available, and if your team can acquire him, and in this case, obviously, the Toronto Maple Leafs, you'd be stupid not to at least question if he's available. So, again, I just wanted to make this video because I first of all, love making these style of videos because I love rumors, I love trade talk, and it's just my opinion on a few guys that their names have kind of been tossed out there and a little bit of research that I've been doing, and I've got lots more videos coming in terms of this style of video. So if you are new here, liking and subscribing would be huge. Make sure to comment down below as well. I want 2022 to be a massive year for this channel, and it's because of you guys. So thank you for watching. Leave your suggestions down below. I love and appreciate you guys as always, and hopefully I'll see you in the next video or stream. Peace.